I'd like to call to order the Miamisburg City Schools Thursday, March 19th regular board meeting to order. May we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to take a moment and share some sad news with the Miamisburg community. If you didn't know, we did have a student pass recently, and her name is Mia Wright. And I would like to take a moment to read some words about Mia, and then we'll take a brief moment of silence in her honor. Her viewing and funeral and celebration of life is tomorrow, and so we're with her family for sure. Mia was a bright, kind, and caring student who touched the lives of everyone around her. She had a wonderful personality and a truly good heart. She could light up a room the moment she walked in. Mia was cheerful, loved to make people laugh, and always made others feel included, valued, and important. She was incredibly generous, always sharing her snacks and offering her belongings, never wanting anyone to go without. She gave compliments freely, comforted classmates when they were upset, and was always there as a source of support and encouragement. Mia also loved connecting with others beyond the classroom, calling friends and sharing stories about her family, especially her time with her grandparents. Mia was a thoughtful and supportive friend who constantly put others before herself. If someone didn't have a partner, she would step in without hesitation, even if it meant leaving her own group. She welcomed new students, invited others to join games at recess, and made sure no one ever felt left out. She was a hardworking student with natural leadership qualities, always leading with kindness and compassion. We are deeply saddened by her passing and will always remember the joy, creativity, and love she brought into our lives. Mia will forever remain in our hearts. I'd like to thank the students and staff at Kinder Elementary that created that statement, and if now we could just have a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Manning. May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Ansler?
Here.
Mrs. Getter?
Here.
Mr. Mowry?
Here.
Mrs. Neese?
Here.
Mrs. Nunnery?
Here.
Ms. Chapman?
Here.
Ms. Dudley?
Here.
Mr. Prince?
Here.
Ms. Stocker?
Here.
Mr. Homan?
Here.
Ms. Maney?
Here.
And Mr. Wells is here.
Next on tonight's agenda, I'll go through these briefly and then we'll come back to each one individually. D is the adoption of the agenda. E is the waiving of the reading of the minutes, the regular board meeting held February 19th, special board meeting work session held on the February 24th, 25th, special meeting held on the 27th of February. G will be the recognition of citizen, staff, and students, and tonight is Student of the Month is Skylar Snyder of Kinder Intermediate School. H is the approval of the financial report dated February 28, 2026. I is it is recommended that the Board of Education approve the opening items D Delta through H Hotel. May I have a motion for those items, please?
So moved.
First by Mr. Mallory
I second it.
and seconded by Mrs. Neese. As we go back to the adoption of the agenda, do we have any discussions on tonight's agenda? Hearing none, the waiving of the reading Does anybody have any comments in regards to any of those meetings? Hearing none again, we will go to recognition of citizens, staff, and students, and that would be Mr. Malley.
The Miamisburg Schools February Student of the Month is Kinder Intermediate School student Skylar Snyder. She was nominated by her teachers, Ms. Flatto, Ms. Miller, and Ms. Johnson. They said, "I am proud to recognize Skylar Snyder as our Student of the Month. She consistently embodies what it means to be a leader in our classroom and the larger community. Skylar's positive presence sets a strong example for others as she follows expectations, works hard, and shows respect without any hesitation. She can always be counted on to do what is right and to inspire that same integrity in others. This year, she has set high goals for herself and has persevered to achieve them. She began the school year running for student council and was elected by her peers, who quickly noticed her responsibility and confidence. She has also remained focused on her academics and has made extraordinary progress in all subject areas. Her strong work ethic also extends to her activities outside of school. Skylar has dedicated herself to cheerleading for 6 years. Recently, her competition team scored second in the state. Congratulations. And will soon be going to nationals. We are lucky to have Skylar's leadership in our kinder community, and we are excited to celebrate her.
Want to come over here? We'll take a photo.
You like cheer?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I've been doing it since February.
Have you?
Skylar, you can stand right here and I'll come around.
It'll wear your that out. So be nice to her.
6 years. Man.
Squeeze in a little bit, guys. Awesome. Smile. Okay. If all the family wants to come up and get a quick group picture, that'd be great too.
You're not done yet, Chris. Other family members.
We'll just get the family if you guys want to have a seat. Yeah. That's good. While you guys are sitting, we'll get the family.
I told her to be nice.
Thank you guys for coming.
All right. That should conclude that section. May I have a roll call?
Mr. Hansler,
Yes.
Mrs. Getter,
Yes.
Mr. Mallory,
Yes.
Mrs. Neese,
Yes.
Mrs. Nunner.
Yes.
Next on tonight's agenda is public comments. I did not receive any green sheets, so we will move on to board discussion. Board discussion tonight is Mark Twain Primary School Spotlight Presentation. Ms. Kelly.
All right, stand down, come on down, come on down. Just ready? Well, we are really excited. I have to tell you, what happened was when we went to grade banding, the first year, we said, oh my gosh, I don't think we can do student council with little people. We were just really second guessing ourselves, and we said, you know what, we just can't possibly do that. Well, lo and behold, we found out last year that we had some really great kids in our buildings, and that little people can do big things. And so it was really exciting. They took over last year doing morning announcements via our Google Classroom. And some of them here today, you'll see these slides are announcers with us currently. So we're really excited about embracing and bringing back student council. We have two of our advisors tonight that are taking the reins and really helped out. And we have opened it up this year to second grade. So we're very excited about that piece. We have a community connection, and we're really fortunate. Our student council has helped run lots of programming and with the support of the community, and we work with a lot of organizations, including and supporting Miamisburg Assembly of God, Helping Hands Food Pantry, the Ronald McDonald Bus, and local nursing home.
Students collect over 400 pairs of socks to support Miamisburg Assembly of God, Operation Christmas Child Initiative. Students collected over 1,620 pounds of food for the Helping Hands Food Pantry. We are collecting health tags and have collected over 55 pounds of them so far for the Ronald McDonald House.
We're still taking donations if any of you are collecting those at home.
Valentine's Day cards were made for a local nursing home. Our students have helped with the following morning announcement, fostering leadership skills, spirit days, students.
She is one of our morning announcers. So what do you do as a morning announcer? You want to tell us?
Do you ever sing on a morning announcement? Do you ever sing songs? Maybe you can start.
Did you say the pledge?
Yes.
You guys did a
It's
great
almost a
job of
song.
that at the beginning. It was awesome.
Do you tell what's for lunch? Yeah.
What was for lunch today?
That's my favorite.
It was a good lunch.
Is that your favorite? No.
They read birthdays, special announcements, they tell you if you need to wear a coat or not when you go outside, for recess, we're trying to kind of pull everybody in and run the morning.
Do you remind people of the spirit days, like when there's dress up days? Do you remind the students? Well, that's a really important job because we forget things.
Oh, affirmations. They are. Positive things every day. They just usually don't see their audience.
Right.
That's true. Our next one. The mayor actually came and visited this year. And she spoke with all the students, and so you've got a picture up there with them. That was a nice experience to talk about leadership. And their important role too, you know, and I was kind of pointing out to them that we've got students on the board now as well, and what a neat leadership opportunity that is too. All right, moving on.
These guys are going to get you enough for your money.
I'll get our next one. Donna, you want to get this one?
Student council has made cool. It has invented spirit days like Wacky Wednesday, soft funny Wacky Socks Day, and lots more.
Oh, you want to take it?
And we, in the fall, we did a fall fest with parachutes, Jenga, and Plinko, and we also built scarecrows.
Was it? Awesome.
One activity we added this year was the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. what a fun event it was. We had several of our staff dress up like they were actually outside announcing the parade. It was, the students had made their own balloon inflatables, like, and they carried this through. They were like little animals. Those were a lot of fun. What animal did you do? A turtle. What animal did you do? Remember? Yeah. Anybody else want to share what animal? Yeah, go ahead.
I made an axolotl. I made a fox. I made a rabbit. I made a mini.
So it was a lot of fun. We actually did an inflatable race, but it was actually like a true parade through the school. We included our preschool units as well, so that was really nice. Next page, moving along. All right, we have a huge special thanks. We are very fortunate that Miamisburg Assembly of God Church really has adopted our building for over 15 years. They supply all the back-to-school supplies for our students. So our students do not need to buy crayons or paper or glue sticks. They take care of that for our students. They also help us, and they do our blessings in the bag. Every week they deliver those ready to go. And so that is a very nice donation to many of our students. We are also fortunate that we've got several churches supporting us and being major help for things like Fall Fest, School Carnival, and our fun run that is coming up. So we're really lucky. And our next one. We have a gathering church that also supports us. They're actually located over in Centerville, but they have students over in this area. They have repainted and repurposed some of our bathrooms and decorated for the staff. They really want to love on the staff. Miamisburg Assembly of God really loves on the kids, so we're very fortunate. They've done donations such as classroom games, surprise snacks. They come around the first Friday of the month. Hey, you might want to come over, and that's when they come through and give treats to all of the staff. So we'll pick me up Friday afternoon to keep us going. They also, we've been so blessed to have all this help, volunteer on lots of hours. For helping for other events like book fair, the holiday shop, and we're very lucky. So I just call people and we get all these great individuals that want to come and help us. All right, the next slide. I got two slides together. So St. James has come in and they have partnered with us, and we are so fortunate. That is new as well. And as they are volunteering for things such as book fair and popcorn days. Oh yes, you want to stop by Friday around lunchtime for popcorn, because we definitely do it upright. And that is one of our PTA volunteers there, dressed up, promoting and having fun with the kids with popcorn days.
You like popcorn soup?
They're honest. All right, Miss Donna, you want to take this last one?
Our students and staff are doing big things. The support of our community also makes a difference.
So thank you. And, it wouldn't be complete if we didn't have a little popcorn bag for you to take home and pop tonight. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Great job, Mark Twain students.
Very
Great
good.
job.
Thank you for having us
Good to have you come back to class.
Thank you for having us.
I'm going to internet.
Cool.
Well, there's for you two over there.
Hey.
Well, you are, you're the oldest in our building.
You're so annoying. Some students are only 15 grades.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kelly. That's good.
Great job.
Were you Coach Freeze's dad?
Yeah.
I remember you from basketball.
See you, buddy.
See ya.
This part of the night's over now. Now we get to the sausage day. Everybody's quits.
All right, next on tonight's agenda is number 5. It's the adopting revision and board policies. This is the first reading of the Neola board policies, which were the fall update. It is recommended that the Board of Education present the first reading of the Neola board policies 44.2 fall update to include the following policies. There was a number of policies that we went through. Since that time, there has been a couple clarifications that we're going to get worked through before the next meeting. But there was a number of policies, and this is just an annual review or semi-annual review that we do each year. So this is just the first reading of tonight's board policies. Next on the agenda is the consent agenda. Number 6. A is the approval of the overnight out-of-state extended student trips. This is WGI Wins World Championship prelims. B is the approval of 2026 early graduates. Michael Black, principal at Miamisburg High School, has recommended McKenna Blair, David Bracken, Skylar Cochran, Jacob Fury, Nick Mallory, Naomi Naviev, Leighton Ramsey, Luke Schultz, Jayla Shepard, Amara Smith, Ray Webb, and Elena Wiggins for early graduation pending satisfactory completion of all state and local requirements. C is the approval of instructional materials adoption. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve and use purchase the following instructional material, which is 6 through 8 science. And then D is the approval and awarding of the 2026-2027 mini grants school year. E is the approval of items A alpha through D delta. May I have a motion for those following items?
No motion.
Initially by Shelby Nunnery.
Second.
And then seconded by Mrs. Gibb. Is there any questions or comments in regards to any of those A through D items?
No, I just wanted to say the mini grants are so important, and I'm so glad that we can do that along with the Education Foundation. I know as a teacher, I spent a lot of my own money, don't tell my husband, but, you know, when I was able to get $500 that I didn't have to use out of my own pocket, it was just much a blessing.
I would like to add to the mini grants, we had over $19,000 applied for. And the subcommittee, the people that serve on the committee from the foundation, is one of their favorite things to do is review all these, because our teachers are creative, innovative. We were able to pull some of the project applications out and use a district grant that is running out to fund those, so we were able to approve more of the mini grants. You know, so we were able, between two funds, approve over almost about $18,000 of them.
Good deal. Any other comments or questions in regards to that session? Hearing none, may I have a roll call?
Mr. Ansler,
Yes.
Mrs. Getter,
Yes.
Mr. Mallory,
Yes.
Mrs. Neese,
Yes.
Mrs. Nunnery.
Yes.
Item 7 is Human Resources Agenda items. A is the approval of personnel reports certificated. It's recommended that the Board of Education approve the following personnel report. Employment in the city of Miamisburg School District is contingent upon the candidate submitting to and passing a BCII and FBI criminal record check in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code, pre-employment drug screening in accordance with the adopted board policies. May I have a motion for this item, please?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Mallory, seconded by
Nunnery.
Mallory. Steve Holman.
Normal business, we're getting ready for the next school year, so you'll see several retirements, resignations, hires all coming through, so there'll be more next month as well, so.
Any questions for Mr. Holman? Hearing none, may I have a roll call?
Mr. Hensler,
Yes.
Mrs. Getter,
Yes.
Mr. Mallory,
Yes.
Mrs. Neese,
Yes.
Mrs. Nunnery.
Yes.
B is the approval of personnel reports classified, same as it was before, it's still passing the BCI criminal record check and the drug screening. So may I have a motion as well on this item?
I move to approve the classified report.
Motion by Mrs. Neese
Second.
and second by Mrs. Getter. Again, goes back to Steve Holman. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, may I have a roll call?
Mr. Hensler,
Yes.
Mrs. Getter,
Yes.
Mr. Nunnery, I'm sorry, Mr. Mallory,
Yes.
Mrs. Neese,
Yes.
Mrs. Nunnery.
Yes.
C is the approval of personnel reports, supplemental stipend, certificated and classified. May I have a motion for this item as well?
I move to approve the personnel report supplemental stipend.
I'll second.
Motion by Mrs. Neese and seconded by Mrs. Nunn. Any comments in regards to that, Mr. Nunn? Hearing none, may I have a roll call?
Mr. Hensler,
Yes.
Mrs. Getter,
Yes.
Mr. Mallory,
Yes.
Mrs. Neese,
Yes.
Mrs. Nunnery.
Yes.
All right, we are down to number 8, which is agreements and contracts. A is the approval of agreement with Mobile Health Services LLC. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the following resolution with an agreement between Miamisburg City Schools and Mobile Health LLC. Resolution. Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the City of Miamisburg School District declares and determines that due to an Ohio Department of Education requirement that all staff responsible for driving school-aged children must have an annual T8 physical for the 2026-2027 school year. Therefore, all authorities Mobile Health LLC to perform said T8 physicals for all CDL and band certified staff. Mobile Health LLC will invoice the district at a cost determined prior to May 1st. May I have a motion for that item, please?
I'll motion.
Motion by Mrs. Nunnery,
I second it.
seconded by Mrs. Neese.
Can I just ask a question before we vote?
No, we're not, definitely, because I was going to ask that.
Jump right in there. This is a similar to the school physical, and they would check vision and hearing as well?
Yeah, so what we do a little cost comparison, cost shopping in terms of that. Mobile Health, we've been with them for the last several years. They're very competitive. Their T8s are about $15 to $17 lower than other places. They actually combine the drug and alcohol test with the diabetic screening.
Oh, could they do A1C and, okay?
Yeah, it's not an A1C, they just see if there's glucose
Oh, okay.
in the urine, so.
Okay, but they do vision and hearing.
Yeah, that's all
Okay,
required.
That's included, okay. All right, thank you, Steve.
Mhm.
Do they have a mobile unit as well, or is it?
Yeah, they come out and do physicals on site, and then when they have to do the random samples, they come out to the garage and do them on site.
All right. Any other questions or comments in regards to that item? Hearing none, may I have a roll call?
Mr. Ambler,
Yes.
Mrs. Getter,
Yes.
Mr. Mallory,
Yes.
Mrs. Neese,
Yes.
Mrs. Nunley.
Yes.
B is the approval agreement with Healthcare Process Consulting, HPC. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve an agreement between Miamisburg City Schools and Healthcare Process Consulting, HPC, for managing the district's Ohio Medicaid School Program, MSP, for fiscal year 26-27. May I have a motion for that item, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Mallory.
I second it.
And seconded by Mrs. Neese.
Thank you. We participate in the Medicaid Schools Program, and Healthcare Processing is the agency who actually does the billing for us, because we're not permitted really to have that information to say who qualifies and who does not qualify for Medicaid. So the intermediary between us and Medicaid, we get permission from parents to bill. They take care of the billing, and then we are reimbursed for the services, and that's for your related services, speech, OT, PT. They can bill Medicaid for the services, and then the district receives those funds. And it's on a two-year in arrears cycle, because I have to go through an audit every year, where they audit all my paperwork and everything, and they audit our financial paperwork and all of that sort of thing, and then they reimburse us. So it's on a two-year in arrears cycle.
Are they part of the team that found the extra revenue that sounded like you did really well finding this year?
Yeah.
Great, good work.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments in regards to that item as well? Hearing none, you have a roll call.
Mr. Ambler,
Yes.
Mrs. Getter,
Yes.
Mr. Mallory,
Yes.
Mrs. Neese,
Yes.
Mrs. Nunley.
Yes.
C is the approval of the fiscal year 27 service agreement with Meta Solutions. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve a service agreement between Miamisburg City Schools and Meta Solutions as presented for the fiscal year 26-27. May I have a motion for that item, please?
I move to approve a service agreement between Miamisburg City Schools and Meta Solutions.
Motion by Mrs. Neese,
Second.
seconded by Mrs. Getter.
What do we pay a year for that?
I'd have to
Just
do
up on the
it.
screen, 31,000.
That was the Schedule 2, so there's like several different parts to it. There's a Schedule 1 and there's a Schedule 2. And they cover different programs. So this is your Schedule 1, this is your main state reporting system, and purchasing co-op and all of those pieces. So they do it per student, so it's a per student cost of $22.25 per student, so for a total of $106,488.50. And then your Schedule 2 are companies that we utilize their services, and it flows through Meta. So as the, I forget what you call it, but anyways, those systems come through Meta Solutions. So they're on a different schedule because they have different individual costs depending on what they are.
Does the Meta software, how our grades get passed in the state?
Yeah, our data, all your EMIS data, all that kind of stuff, that's through Meta Solution.
So when you say that's what
And then, do you know if the Block C is part of Meta? Okay, so that's separate.
It's a separate.
Okay.
Yeah. So the extra accounts you can see that I just pulled up here. So our same goal, which is our IEP 504 software, is on there, and then Final Forms. Final Forms is actually a pass-through, which means we pay Final Forms
Do
directly.
you know if they have something through Meta that maybe would be like discounted if we,
Final Forms?
was like comparable to like Block C? I had.
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
No,
I
they do
didn't
not.
know if that was a streamlined service that they have through bundling or anything like that.
No, a lot of these that you're going through, Meta's not giving a cut on these, they're just managing.
No bundle deal.
No bundle deal. I tried out Final Forms when athletics was already doing it and we brought on for the registration. Again, no bundle deal. I'm like, all right.
Any other questions or comments in regards to that section? Hearing none, may I have a roll call?
Mr. Ambler,
Yes.
Mrs. Getter,
Yes.
Mr. Mallory,
Yes.
Mrs. Neese,
Yes.
Mrs. Nunn.
Yes.
9 is the financial agenda items. A is the authorization for amendment to the appropriations and certificate of estimated resources. It is recommended that the treasurer, CFO, that the appropriations and certificate of estimated resources be amended as listed in the attached reports. B is a resolution accepting the amounts and rates authorizing the necessary tax levies for the tax year 2026. It is recommended that the treasurer, CFO, superintendent, that the Board of Education accept the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor for tax year 2026 as presented. And then C is the approval of financial items A, alpha, and B, beta. May I have a motion for those two items?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Mallory
Second.
and seconded by Mrs. Getter. Mr. Wells.
The most important thing out of those two, again, the appropriations and certificate is just standard fare. It varies from month to month as we make adjustments to this or that. The more important thing is the resolution accepting amounts and rates, as I mentioned during the forecast presentation last month. Unfortunately, we've kind of got the timing backwards a bit with the new state requirements for forecast presentation. Because ultimately the state is working now, they've got until the mid-April to make the modifications to tax rates based on the property tax reform bills, namely House Bill 129 and 187, or 186 rather, and because of that, what we're publishing today is not accurate. But by law, the county has to publish amounts and rates by the end of March. So we have to submit them, and then the county will come back with modified amounts and rates or revised amounts and rates once they get guidance from the state. But this puts us in compliance.
So will there be an update then next month after or May?
I wouldn't anticipate getting anything until probably May at this point. Again, unfortunately, the Ohio Department of Taxation's been rather quiet on when they're supposed to have it published by, I believe it's April 10th, it's either April 10th or April 20th, I don't recall which one it is, but even then they said that they could possibly take longer because they're still trying to get their hands around the new legislation.
Good.
In our forthcoming work to look into our fiscal health overall, when we look at that data, instead of looking at encumbered expenses that we're projecting based on cutting them a PO, can we get the actual numbers of what we're spending within each of those line items to see what not what we're forecasting we're spending, but what we're actually spending? Some of those have quite a bit of a disconnect, seems like.
Well, again, those are for the appropriations are for the full year, the encumbrances are for the full year, and then ultimately as more purchase orders are placed, it goes against those appropriations. So ultimately the forecast is where I think we're going to land based on the run rate and the remaining funds that are left appropriated. But I'd have to, we can certainly take a look at it. The reports that I put out have a variety of information in them, so.
Okay. The actual expenses helps me understand what we're actually spending versus what we think we're going to spend, and it helps things be a lot more actionable.
I understand.
Like, the legal expense line item we talked about last week, we have a global PO for $277 for the year, but we spent $90, right? So there's a big disconnect there.
There's an additional $277,000 that is open, that's appropriated, correct?
That is included in your forecast,
Yeah.
we're only using 1/3 of.
Yeah, I don't
On the-
anticipate we'll
You're
use that
talking
full
about
amount.
actual versus budgeted.
Yes, ma'am. Exactly. actual, the actual gives us a better picture of where we're actually at versus where we think we're at. I think we're at the point where we need to know where we're actually at, if at all possible. So that could be there Tuesday, I appreciate it.
I wanted to talk about Bloxy, since this is the perfect time to talk about it, since financial report from February. And the reason I bring it up is I just had a couple community members take notice of our report from February for expenditures, which it's great to see community members checking these things out. It's available for anyone to look at. But there seems to be a big expense for Bloxy, which is, we need to be in compliant for, right, Ms. Manning? That's for like the safety of students and data privacy and all that stuff.
Yes.
Can I get some clarification if that $34,120.41, is that monthly or yearly?
Yearly.
That's a yearly? Okay. I just would like to see if we could do some price comparison to see if there's anything cheaper out there. I know that there's other ones out there, and did you say no?
Yeah, I said yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you said like you've already done it, like,
No,
oh, where's
certainly
that?
can't.
There's nothing cheaper.
No, you're absolutely right.
Just because we are talking about financials and where to save money at, and if we can maybe be a part of a consortium that offers bundle deals to get things, that's something to look into. So if you can maybe put that on a list to like just do some comparison, that's just a small way we might be able to save, $10,000.
Yes.
Everything can add up.
I'll share with you, there are several out there, and I've experienced using several as a teacher, even administrator. I will tell you one portion of Bloxy that I think was probably very intriguing for us is not only does it monitor online usage by students in case there's anything being entered that would flag like a potential self-harm or anything concerning, anything illegal, anything like that, and sends us alerts, but they also actually have live operators that if something happens after hours, a live person will call my phone number, Mr. Homan's phone number, Katie's phone, Ms. Lucas's phone number, and we get in live contact from someone at Bloxy if something's happened at night, and we ensure that we connect with, one of us will personally connect with the school administrator and the family before we stop calling or send someone out to do a well check. And so I think that was very intriguing, is that in-person, live person 24 hours that will call us directly, when some other platforms might not have that, but we're happy to do a comparison.
Yeah, and
Yes.
that is what makes that stand out, makes it worth the cost for like some, potential
Yes.
life-saving safeguard. That's an important factor to consider, cost versus benefit, I think, absolutely. Does anybody know if we've always used Bloxy? How long
We have not. Bloxy is fairly new.
Okay.
How do you spell that?
BLOCKSI. So it is fairly new. And Bloxy has different facets. So as Ms. Maney was describing, it's also filtering, it monitors students' emails, documents. One other benefit of Bloxy compared to other platforms is it actually monitors the Google applications as well. So it can see into the Google Docs, it can see into the Google Sheets, where a lot of other programs did not. Another perk, we had teachers asking for many years to have access to monitor what students are doing in their class on their screen. And we had for years looked into programs like that, like Go Guardian and those things, and those were highly expensive just on their own. So that was an added piece, a bundle deal, really with Bloxy, to add the middle school and the high school teachers have that benefit of, they can do like a lockdown browser, so kids have to stay on what they're supposed to be on. They can, it was really fun because you would host PD and teachers would pull up Bloxy and they'd be like, oh, that kid's playing a game, not anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure the students can probably tell you about it. So that was a definite addition when we looked at Bloxy as well. So it was a bundle deal for those two pieces, but we're happy to review again because there's always more and more.
Yeah, are we
coming out.
a part of a consortium like Miami Valley? The EPC is what we're a part of, and typically those might have, I'm not saying they do, but other ones may have like a bundle where you are part of that. And get
We brought that in as part of the safety grant
Okay.
several years ago, so that's how it started. So we had quotes back then and the pros and the cons along. So I think this might be the second year that we're actually paying for it.
Okay. What do we use before Bloxy? Do you know? just out of curiosity?
Securely?
Securely, yeah, okay, I'm not a big fan of securely myself as a teacher, but we're back to Go Guardian, the district I work for. But I don't know the pricing of it, obviously, but. it's
Just
not
out of
like-
curiosity, with it, is earlier in the year, you know, is this the, if there's an overall threat to the district, is this what's monitored at the state level that you guys get notified of if they see something online that is a threat?
No, so
That's
this
a
is
different.
internal. The state has their own platform and department, I guess, if you will, that monitors if there's a threat. They also have, I think, a call-in line and several layers, but it is different. This is internal decision, local decision-making. If we don't even have to technically have this in place, but we do and most districts do.
So the state level protections that we've received benefit from in the past, those are in place at the state level?
No matter what.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what I want to make sure.
Yes.
Thank you.
And then also part of our public school works training, a component of that is also reporting school violence and things like that. So if someone reports, they've heard something and they saw something on the network, we will get a direct phone call. And it's 24/7, 365, so.
Thank you for that information. I just wanted to follow up on the questions that people were asking, so I appreciate it.
And I think when we go to look, to get some quotes, we have to look to see what year the contract ranks. We got price breaking when we did that, so we just have to take a look at that. But I think a really important piece that has been very beneficial to our students and has helped some families not incur tragedy has been that Google piece of being able to scan. And so I just want to make sure that's,
Yeah,
it's very important that
Right.
we look at that because that has been very beneficial in preventing some things.
yeah, I think it's really important to reinforce that risk versus benefit. Like if it's a higher cost, but we get this benefit, it's worth that cost for kids.
And they're constantly upgrading and changing things. And I can reach out to the EPC to see if they have anything with the last time when we looked, they would know.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Any other questions or comments in regards to those financial items? Hearing none, may I have a roll call?
Mr. Ambler,
Yes.
Mrs. Getter,
Yes.
Mr. Mowry,
Yes.
Mrs. Neese,
Yes.
Mrs. Nunley.
Yes.
Down to number 10, we have a financial part 2. Resolution A is to file complaints against evaluation of real property for tax year 2025. The superintendent and treasurer recommended the Board of Education approve the following resolutions to file complaints against evaluation of real property for tax year 2025 due to incorrect total valuations or assessment of the owners and properties as attached. May I have a motion for that item, please?
I'll move.
Motion by Mrs. Nunnery,
Second.
and we have a second by Mrs. Getter.
Could we ask the treasurer to please explain, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you,
You're
sorry.
fine.
The treasurer to explain this to our community, because they may not understand what this is all about.
Yep, I was
I was ahead of you. And you
were-
had it.
I was writing, you were talking.
Sorry.
Very good.
Yeah, happy to explain. So we have a real estate attorney that's a specialist in that field. He monitors all commercial and industrial Class 2 transactions and looks for any properties that are significantly undervalued. We do not look at residential. We do not monitor those. We only look at Class 2 commercial and industrial. Whenever there is a substantial difference in the two, then we can go to the Board of Resolution and go and ask for an appeal on those so they adjust the amounts. It's typically based on the actual sale value. So for instance, the property may be valued at, say, $500,000, and somebody goes out and buys that property for $1 million. And again, we're usually talking pretty significant percentage changes. That's when that would flag, and we would go to the Board of Revision, and we would ask them for an appeal. They would typically look at the comps in that properties, other commercial and industrial properties. They would also look at the actual sale value, and that's when they would make a determination. it's important to note that the flip side of that coin also happens, that we have properties on an annual basis that get depreciated. So again, if you look, for example, a lot of the properties that are at the Old Dayton Mall, those properties have become distressed. Many of them are dilapidated. Perhaps they're currently on the books with the auditor's office, say for $1 million, and that property is in today's market terms only worth $500,000. The owners can go to the Board of Appeals and they can ask for those reductions as well. So, it's give and take, and in this particular case, we identified 6 properties that had a significant increase versus what's on the books at the county auditor's office, and we are asking for the Board of Revisions to do an appeal on those. And if they approve all 6, then we would see about $92,000 of additional revenues per year.
Of the 6 that we have, or however many we approved, I didn't have a lot of time this afternoon to review this from last year. This is an annual thing. It always gives me a minute of pause, because basically, if I understand this right, we're hiring a law firm to argue for people's property taxes to increase, correct?
We have a real estate
So-
attorney that monitors
Right.
those things.
So that always gives me just a little bit of, I don't know, it seems very forward. But one question that I had last year was, how many of those properties are we returning a net gain to the district for the fees that we're paying to pursue it? Because that's not cheap to pursue. And there was no real tracking on that. We can go agitate for it, but what's it returning to the district in revenue? Is there a way to measure that?
Yeah, we can certainly look at the billable hours for that task and see what the return is. I would imagine it's probably I would imagine the ROI on it's probably pretty good, just because, again, it's just strictly as those sales are posted, they review them, and just wherever there's I believe they're looking for anything greater than a 20% increase, I believe is the number that they look at.
So this approval approves a law firm to file a complaint with the Montgomery County Auditor arguing for those property values to increase beyond what they're currently stated.
He prepares he alerts us to any of the properties that fit the parameters, and then prepares the resolution language for us to present to the board, which once approved then goes to the Board of Revisions.
Is this a resolution language?
The resolutions were in the attachments.
I just want to point out, Greg, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not necessarily, yes, the property tax increases, but what it's doing, it's not us lobbying to increase the tax, it's lobbying to ensure that the taxes charged are in line with the property sold for, meaning its actual value.
Correct.
To ensure that the property owner, the new owner, is paying the appropriate amount of tax like all other property owners, that they're not paying less based on a former valuation, based on their sale price. So it's an adjustment, I believe.
Correct. The tax rates remain the same. It's just applied to the actual sale value.
I'm curious about the billing of the lawyer that does this. Is this part of a firm that we have a retainer for, or do they just come around once a year, we pay them?
No, it is, again, this is it's an attorney that specializes in real estate. He's part of the Scott Scriven Law Firm, and he represents us when a landowner goes to the Board of Appeals and asks for a reduction. He represents us and tries to, he looks at comps to try to determine if it's a reasonable and fair offer, or whether we should negotiate. And then ultimately, as part of the, probably a lesser task is to monitor the sales of commercial properties and industrial properties and alert us when there's a significant increase in the sale prices as opposed to the appraised value.
In your experience, is there typically a net gain after we are paying that fee and all of those stuff? Is that typically what you're seeing?
I can state from my For my previous role, yes. Again, I don't have enough, I don't have enough historical context with Miamisburg to say that definitively, but I would imagine that again, it probably is. Again, for instance, when you look at the various ones, you're looking at a $15,000 increase on average, and I can't imagine it takes anywhere close to that for those services. But again, that's just, I'm speculating. I would need to go back and look at the actual billing to make sure.
Yeah, it'd be hard to say, but
Yes.
typically that's not going to be a cost. to us.
Again, I can state that, with my previous district, that yes, there was usually a pretty significant ROI.
Thank you.
Well, I can tell you, the first two on the list is an increase. It would be an increase. I was still working at the time, and I know when those two buildings became vacant, and I know when the plans came through our office for the changes in the people coming in. So those would be evaluation in the positive, and I'm familiar with those two right off the bat. So that would be a plus to us.
You said 92,000, if we get approved, that, all of that would equal about $92,000 a year if it's approved.
Correct.
Okay.
If all six were to be approved, that's a estimated increase of tax dollars of $92,000.
Any other questions or comments in regards to that section of financial part two? Hearing none, may I have a roll call?
Mr. Amsler,
Yes.
Mrs. Getter,
Yes.
Mr. Mallory,
No.
Mrs. Neese,
Yes.
Mrs. Nunnery.
Yes.
Number 11 is acceptance of donations. The list from Monday is going up. It is recommended that the Board of Education accept the following list of donations. All monies will be used through the school's 018 account unless indicated otherwise. $5,625 from the Miamisburg Band Boosters, 2 WGI Winds instructor stipends, $5,000 from Lee Hieronymus to the Miamisburg Athletic Department for track hurdles, $3,550 from the Miamisburg Schools Education Foundation Dempsey Education Award Fund for the 5th grade camp at Chautauqua Field Day, $800 from Viva Harriman Fund on behalf of Randall and Mary Nieces Ed Taylor Jr. to earmark for the K-12 or K-2, science elementary curriculum. $2,804.08 from Mark Twain PTO to Mark Twain Primary School Library Book Fair. $500 from EST Acquisitions LLC DBA Greek Hardware to Miamisburg High School Musical and Drama Club. $50 from Power Zone LLC to the Miamisburg High School Musical and Drama Club. $50 from Sean Willis to the Miamisburg High School Musical and Drama Club. $100 from the Miamisburg Lions Club to the Miamisburg High School Musical and Drama Club. $100 also from the Miamisburg Lions Club to the Miamisburg High School Vocal Music. $1,000 from the Viking Boosters to the Miamisburg High School Viking Cafe, and $287 anonymous cash donation to the Miamisburg High School Choir. I have a motion for those donations.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Mallory and seconded by Mrs. Getter. And I want to say thank you to all those donations.
Thank you. And did anybody take the time to calculate how much that is altogether? Yeah.
I wanted to say too, I did send out an email if there are any recommendations for the Ohio School Board Association Business Honor Roll Awards. I've been looking back through all the donations, trying to choose some businesses. But if you all have any recommendations, please let me know. I need to turn that in by March 31st.
Okay. Hearing no other comments on the acceptance of donations, may I have a roll call?
Mr. Amsler,
Yes.
Mrs. Getter,
Yes.
Mr. Mallory,
Yes.
Mrs. Neese,
Yes.
Mrs. Nunnery.
Yes.
We are at number 12, which is the reports, and we'll start with the Miami Valley Career Technology Center news. I know Molly is not here, however, I do believe that there was a report submitted. Is that true or not?
There's an attachment on there. It's attached.
Guess I should read that. Applications continue to be accepted for the 2026-2027 school year. Currently, they have over 1,800 applicants. The National Technical Honor Society induction is this Sunday at 2 p.m. Miami Valley Career Technology Centers are always accepting donations for students to use in learning a skill, trade, or career. We received a 2004 Chevy Suburban LT donated by Justin Halstead, and 11 cases of turbine engine oil donated by Unison, which is a GE aerospace company. Please consider donating items from your company or personal life that will help the students. They love equipment and machinery. 57 of the Miami Valley Career Technology Center Business Professionals of America students advanced to the state competitions. Cheyenne Brunner was first in Links Operations Systems Fundamentals. Miami Valley Career Technology Center is helping to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the USA with monthly videos of Ohio contributions to our country. Monthly lessons in English and history are also have the Ohio themed discussions. Adult Ed and Aspire programs have a new math lab to support GED students. Both programs are vital for people who are looking for opportunities to expand their education, skills, and employment options. The Miamisburg Students of the Month are Jill Turner in MS Design and Modeling, Laxton Egan's 7th grade App Creators class, Sabella Marcianak, MS PLTW 8th grade Automation and Robotics, Blake Mosley, Career Technology Connections 8th grader. Prom is May 8th, or is May at 800 to 1,000 kids usually in attendance. Miami Valley Career Technology Center Inspire and GED Adult Ed graduation is May 28th, and senior recognition is at UD Arena on May 15th. That was submitted by Miss Molly Williams. Next is legislative liaison Shelby Nunner.
Yeah, so the House is busy. They're back in session and they are putting a bunch of bills out to discuss. I'm not going to go through every bill. I do make an attachment into board docs that anyone can go and look at, and I've linked the language directly from the state legislature that you can read through if you want more details about it. Right now, I've just highlighted a few things. It includes proposed changes to curriculum requirements, updates to vaccination notification and exemption policies. I think that's a pretty important one to look out for. And the addition of a new standardized test option for students. So instead of just SAT and ACT, they're putting a bill out for another standardized testing to be an option for graduation. But there's some issues with which colleges are going to be accepting that. There's also a bill that is related to parent communication and student support, and that has potential implications for how schools navigate student well-being and family engagement. There's a ton of other bills that are in earlier stages, but I'm keeping an eye on them, but I've listed as much as I can that I think would impact our district on board docs that you can look at. And I've also included down there, if you want to scroll all the way to the bottom, I made a graphic. Is that the end? Keep going. There we go. It's small there, but if you go on to the website, you can see I made a graphic that is just breaking down in the community how decisions are made in the education space from your local school board all the way to the federal government, and what each role kind of has. Just, I don't know if everyone is aware of how those decisions are made. So I wanted to include that too. That's it.
Thanks, Shelby. Next is our student achievement liaison, Mr. Mallory.
The other February Student of the Month building representatives include Maddox Lane Preschool, Bryce Robinson, Bauer Primary School, Eliana Abu Dhaka, Bear Primary School, Juniper Gentry, Jane Chance Intermediate School, Lincoln James, Mark Twain Primary School, Donna Miller, Medlar View Primary School, Finley Myers, Mound Intermediate School, Ellie Runyon, Miamisburg Middle School, Tristan Mick, Miamisburg High School, Hannah Shreve.
Thanks, Mr. Mallory. Appreciate that. D is Hope for Miamisburg. That would be Ms. Neese.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Mrs. Henry, I like the way that you explain the district and operational impact of all those bills. I like that. I did have the attachment last month, but we didn't have time to read all that. So it's very similar. Just to remind everyone that Helping Hands is open on Monday from 6 to 8 on 224 Maple Avenue. The public library has a pantry on Thursday from 5 to 6. There's a kindergarten club coming this summer at the public library. And then the Christmas store, I know this has been a few months ago, but it did serve 750 students. There were 1,000 volunteers, 2,500 gifts, and 9,000 pairs of socks and underwear that were distributed to Miamisburg families. They're looking for a new location for the Christmas store. There's an issue with parking, so if anyone knows a building that would be available that they're willing to share with our district, please reach out. What's really exciting too, on 9th Street by Mark Twain School, tomorrow at 12 o'clock, they're having the Habitat for Humanity celebration for the new home that was built for Casey and her daughter. And just to let you know, these houses just aren't given to people. They have to get a mortgage. Casey has put in thousands of hours of sweat equity into other Habitat for Humanity homes. So, you don't receive that blessing unless you worked hard for other people as well. The city is going to have critical, it's called Faith Fives. It's going to be critical repair services for community members that need critical repairs and can't manage to pay for those. In July, the Back to School Bash is not only going to include our district, but it'll be police, which it was last year. We had National Night Out. But this year it will also include fire. So that will be on July 31st. And that's just about it for all the different things that are happening. And hopefully next month I'll have some new information.
And can I just make an addition there? Thank you so much, Mrs. Neese, for letting people know about Helping Hands. It's best if you're going to Helping Hands, if you can call and make an appointment on Monday night from 6 to 8. It really helps with the planning and organization of the distributing of the food and allowing shoppers to come in. They're also open on Wednesdays in the daytime. So if evening didn't work for you, you can ask for an appointment on Wednesday. So it's a great resource for people. You can use it regularly, or some people just use it one time. But it's great that it's in our community and available for people and families.
Yeah, and by the way, Mrs. Getter too, I forgot to mention that they do have emergency boxes. If you need emergency box, call Helping Hands.
Thank you, Ann.
Okay, thank you, Ann, for that. Down to 13 is the roundtable comments. And I will start tonight with our students to the right.
Okay. Sorry, my brain has turned to mush ever since I took the ACT, which scores did just come out today, so I'm thankful for that. I just wanted to say, like, it's so great to see so many donations, and also the last couple meetings have been, we've had so many great presentations, and just so many, it's so good to see so many great things within all of the schools and like just in our community. And I think that's something we should all be very grateful for, and that's all I wanted to say.
Could I ask how you did on the ACT?
I got a 29.
Very nice, very nice. Congratulations.
I just have the Miami Valley Roundtable Student Board Rep Circle update from last month when we met in February. We had, like, one of the main projects we just finished was going to the OSBA, Ohio School Board Association meeting back in November. We didn't meet for December or January. So coming back from a lot of planning that went into that conference, we just started to think about different activities or bills that we wanted to address. Mainly House Bill 333, this is a statewide youth council. So in essence, it would be kind of what we do for the board, these students would do for the governor of the state of Ohio. It's really exciting. That is cool. Our next meeting, we actually hope to meet with Senator Blackshear. He's the one that's proposing this bill to get sent through Ohio legislation. So that's really exciting. In my notes, I have a few other bills listed, but the ones that we're going to try to address are the NIL bills and, again, that statewide youth council. Additionally, we had a lot of districts interested in joining a organization like the Roundtable and implementing student voice within their boards, on their boards. So another project that we're going to do is a presentation for these districts so they can, again, get a gist of what we do in our capacities on the Board of Education, as well as meeting them in person, well, not in person, I think we're going to do it online, but meeting with representatives from these districts who want to implement student voice. That's going to happen in April. And then we plan to have a student luncheon at the end of the year for the Roundtable. The Roundtable is consisted of quite a few seniors, so a big chunk of us are heading off to college and the workforce next year, so that'll be exciting. Adulting, yes.
Yeah. I have a question about the student voice. Do you have the schools that you know you're going to yet to present in April?
They were going to join a Google Meet. Is that correct, Ms. Neese?
Yeah, I know one was state and public.
Yes, yeah, that was a big one we talked about, Bay and Public.
There's another district as well, I can't remember which one that was.
I remember, I'm trying to remember the name of the guy who was interested.
Did you send out like emails to districts to get interest?
This was strictly, I believe, from our presentation given at the conference.
Yes.
So we had a great audience. So I'm glad we got the coverage that we got, because I think the district that's not Dayton Public, I think that's a farther away district than compared to Miamisburg too. So it's cool to see the extent of the outreach that we were able to kind of meet with other districts in the state. So that's really exciting to kind of expand the Roundtable, and even if they go and start their own organization, just knowing that we kind of planted the seed for student organizations to pop up around the state like that is really cool. And then again, the youth council, kind of wish they had that when I was around. That would have been really cool to be a part of. But I'm excited for the future students who get to be a part of that, kind of do what we do, but on the statewide level, that is super exciting for, I guess, expanding student voice within respective organizations and aspects of government, such as the districts, school boards, and all the way up to state legislation. So it's an exciting time for student voice. That's all I have.
Hello. So I have something pretty exciting to share. Andrew and I are a part of Miamisburg's National Honor Society, and we had the opportunity, along with 4 of our other members and 2 of our advisors, to go to a conference, so a leadership conference that was hosted in Washington, D.C. This happened a couple weekends ago, and we had an amazing time. When we first got to DC, some of the fun things we did, other than the conference, was we got a private tour of the Pentagon, which was amazing. coolest building ever. We saw, oh, Andrew wasn't allowed in. He messed up his form with his social security, so there's that. We toured some monuments. Yeah, that was pretty stressful. We had some fun dinners. We rode the metro, which was always fun, interesting. But when we got to the conference, they had some amazing guest speakers. Brandon Flemings, he is a Harvard coach for speech and debate, so he was really interesting. He talked a lot about empathy and leadership. And then Lori Hernandez, she was on the 2016 women's gymnastics teams, won an Olympic gold medal as a team and then a silver medal on beam. So they were really interesting people to hear from. We learned a lot. The conference had 2,000 students in attendance from all over the country. Internationally too, I think there were some schools from Portugal and Mexico. So we met a lot of people, got a lot of connections within our region, which was amazing. We learned kind of about what not to do as a leader and what to do as a leader and what that kind of entails, which I'm sure everyone here knows. Some of the things that I want to highlight of like what not to do that we took away was demanding others to do tasks, having no empathy for your group and anyone in it, not taking responsibility for your actions, and overall just being afraid to ask for support. And then some of the things that we thought were good traits of a leader is knowing when to collaborate and when to guide and when to step back and let others take the lead. Having empathy, and then also being able to stay calm and work under pressure, which I'm sure many of you have done before. But overall, it was an amazing trip, and I just want to say thank you to our sponsors and the board for allowing us to attend. One last takeaway I just want to mention is just because you don't have a leadership position or title doesn't mean that you can't lead or be a leader in your community. And I think that is a message we really wanted to portray to everyone. So yeah, thank you.
Well, don't forget, we have a round table Saturday.
I knew it.
Okay.
I knew it. I knew it was a Saturday. I thought it was next Saturday.
I will cross over to the cabinet.
No way.
Okay, and then I will start with Shelby.
Sure. Great coming off of what your comments are, because I want to share a few areas that are currently on my radar as a new board member that I would look forward for us to collaborate together on. I think there's value in having future work sessions focused on our board norms and expectations to ensure that we are all operating. And this is coming from someone who's just new on the board and wanting to know how things progress, what the appropriate pathway is to ask questions and things like that, and to be transparent. I think that's a great way for us to be effectively serving our district, is if we are working collaboratively. I want to encourage efforts that are both mine and others meaningfully. There are specific items within those areas that I believe are worth taking a deeper look at over time, including things like professional development for staff, cell phone data policy. I used to come in as a community member and talk about cell phones, and that's kind of my little passion project, and our current safety protocols. And this is no action for tonight, just wanted to let the community members know what I'm looking forward to discussing with my fellow board members, and hopefully get some feedback from the community as well, what's important to them. I want to approach all topics thoughtfully, collaboratively, and with a focus on what's best for students and staff. So that's all I have. Well, actually, I don't. I do have more. I'm not going to lie, because I saw those donations, and that is a lot. So I want to say thank you for all those donations for our school districts.
I just wanted to express my sympathy to Maya Wright's family. And then I know in January and February, we were just really busy and didn't get to really talk during roundtable. And I just wanted to say, with starting my third term, I just want to say that I'm very committed to respecting and supporting all students in our community.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Mallard.
You're bouncing all over the place, aren't you?
I am.
You never know.
I first want to offer my condolences to the Wright family and their loss of their daughter Maya. That's terribly difficult to even fathom. And also for our fallen soldiers who recently passed away overseas, I know that hit home. I think the superintendent of Kettering, her son-in-law, was one of those fallen soldiers, and our hearts are certainly with them. One of the greatest things about this meeting tonight was the Pledge of Allegiance by the Mark Twain Student Council. Their little voices were loud, their charisma was great, so I want to thank them. And our donors, they're always absolutely impressive. And the last person that I want to acknowledge is Tim. You sit back there with your headphones on behind that camera, and you just finished another successful basketball season. And did you miss any board meetings this year because of basketball? One. You missed one, and you appointed your son, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So anyway, thank you for your efforts coaching our kids and teaching our kids and coming here and filming us. So that's all I have, please.
I just wanted to let the Wright family know that I'll be keeping them in my prayers and my thoughts as they say goodbye to the little girl tomorrow. I just can't imagine the pain that they're experiencing. And I want to second what Mr. Mowry said. I whispered over to him how sweet it was to hear the Mark Twain students loud and proud saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
It was awesome.
It was wonderful, and I thoroughly enjoyed their presentation. Those are the future leaders of our community.
I'll be brief. I concur with everybody else's statements in regards to Mia and family being in the fire service for 34 years. And we don't handle those types of calls, and they're not fun. But I will say, I want to congratulate, we've had our bowling team, a gymnastics girl, and some wrestlers go to state. To me, it doesn't matter where you finish at state. It's the fact that you got there, you represented your school, and the hard work that you dedicated, and the talent that you have. And I say that because I look at you two with the regard and the dedication that you two have put forth of coming to our meetings and how much you guys have grown. I probably won't get emotional tonight, but I will probably get emotional in a couple months because I think losing you two was going to be a huge loss. But you were guiding two beside you to replace.
Besides, when we enter, I talk a lot more.
But I hold you two both up with very high regards. So thank you for everything that you have done. You guys were outstanding at OSBA. And all of us were very proud when we left of everything that you guys did up there. And not only did you make us proud, there was a lot of comments from other schools that said, how do we get that? You know, so that's what it's about. So congratulations. Final word is always with the superintendent. So.
Well, that's the hardest place to be because you all do such a fantastic job. I will go and represent, I know a lot of you would love to be there tomorrow with Mia's family, and I will go and represent those of us in the district that will have them in our thoughts and prayers but not be able to attend, and happily share our thoughts and condolences. I just have two things. We are moving quickly towards spring break. Next week is our last week, so congratulations to everybody as we move through this March Madness. And this year, I want to share, we have an art show annually at our high school, and this year it is expanding to be the very first annual Art in the Burg. We are collaborating. Stacy has done a lot of work starting that collaboration and continuing that work, but we are collaborating with the entire city and parks, and we are making an entire event 11 to 5 on April 25th. You will find the art show will be housed at Kinder. There will be musical excerpts and trailers happening in our auditorium here at Memorial. Our music groups will be performing in multiple locations. The city is going to identify different vendors, and we're really trying to grow this into not just a Miamisburg art show, but Art in the Berg that hopefully stays for years, and an enjoyable Saturday in April. So we're looking forward to that. So put that on your calendar. I'll mention it one more time next month.
Is there an event at the movie theater for the high school?
Yeah. For Art in the Berg.
Is that what it is? Is it for Art in the Berg?
They are talking
They're planning.
to the Plaza for Art in the Berg.
Okay.
To tie in an artistic movie.
Mhm.
Bomb Opera House is doing painting, Ron's Pizza's doing a pizza
I was just
art,
gonna
whatever
say-
that is.
Ron's is doing a pizza craft, but Papa's Pizza on April 25th has given their commitment to 20% of all sales going to the art scholarship. Yes,
There will
What
be
was that date?
vendors along the
April
blue
25th.
line.
Saturday.
Vendors along the blue line selling their stuff. Parks and Rec doing a rock snake in Riverfront Park, so it kind of balloons really quick, so we're
I'm
excited.
excited.
Pray for good weather.
Yes.
Yes.
We're looking forward to it.
All right, we are down to adjournment. We will adjourn at 7:27. May I have a motion?
I move to adjourn.
Motion by Mrs. Neese and seconded by Nunnery. May I have a roll call?
Mr. Ansler,
Yes?
Mrs. Getter,
Yes.
Mr. Mallory,
Yes.
Mrs. Neese,
Yes.
Mrs. Nunnery.
Yes.
You've got time.